What's up guys, Batman here, and today we are going over the first content to be released by the newly renamed Halo Studio. There's a lot to go over. I'm going to try to cram it in as quickly as I can. If you enjoy the video, make sure to like and subscribe, but without further ado, let's jump in. So the first thing that we see that they announced was a playlist overview for The Great Journey. And for those of you who don't know, The Great Journey is the name of the next content update, aka the Winter Update, as you may hear it referenced. So this is supposed to be the next big thing that's coming to the game. I'm very excited for it because it's the 20th anniversary of Halo 2 this month. And Halo 2 has such a special place in a lot of Halo fans' hearts, mine especially, because that's always been my favorite Halo. And it was the first time you were able to play Xbox Live on Halo. You had clan support, you had the best maps, you had a great ranking system. I could go on. And now they're going to be celebrating. And the first way they're doing this is with what they're calling the Delta Arena. The Delta Arena playlist, and I'm going to be reading this verbatim off of their website. Delta Arena is a playlist intended to embody the spirit of the gameplay you experienced in 2004. Think of it as a modern take on the legacy settings you remember from the days of yore. The Delta Arena modes will feature no sprint, no clamber, increased jump height, and friendly player collision. You'll be playing a mix of Slayer, Oddball, Capture the Flag, and King of the Hill on some maps that look very familiar. Now I do want to point out that they also mentioned in the video preview of this that King of the Hill is going to be the traditional way where 1 second in the hill counts for 1 point, rather than the current system where you have to capture the entire hill over a period of time to get just 1 point. Now they are mixing in, I believe it's 7 maps in the playlist. The first one is going to be remake of Ascension, which looks gorgeous. This has always been one of my favorite maps from Halo 2. A lot of fond memories. Boulevard, aka Turf, another favorite of mine. And it looks to be made with great attention to detail. Canopy, aka Lockout. This one is not the take I thought they would go with it, with the forest vibes, but I'm excited to play a more classic version of the map versus the banished one that we have. I do enjoy that map, but I just miss the old blue with the snow coming down. It's just classic. The next one is Conjurer, which is a remake of Warlock, which was a huge popular one both in MLG as well as just online in general. I remember playing a lot of games online on that one. And one of the biggest ones that people are excited for, myself included, is Inquisitor, which is a remake of the famous midship. And the fact you won't be able to sprint and clamber, I think is going to really make a big difference for this map. I'm excited to jump in this map, probably more than any of the other ones. As much as I love them, there's just nothing quite like midship. The next one is Serenity, which is a remake of Sanctuary. I always love the aesthetics of this map, being from like a Delta Halo standpoint. And then the last one is Beaver Canyon, aka Beaver Creek. And I'm very excited for this playlist because I absolutely love Halo 2. I love that we're getting player collision back. I wish it was all across the board rather than just friendly player collision, but I'll take what I can get. The next thing that they said that they're going to be doing, not in relation to Halo 2 specifically, but they're doing third-person Firefight. Now, in the video that they released, they did say that this is going to be mode specific in terms of the settings, that you would basically say, I want this mode for Firefight to be a third-person mode or a first-person mode, and then everyone in the game plays that exact same way. I do hope to see this implemented into multiplayer because I have, a son who loves Halo, and I got a son who loves Fortnite. So it'd be nice if one of them could play first person, the other one could play third person. I wouldn't want it for any ranked maps or anything that's too competitive, but just for like a social playlist that has a blend would be cool in the future. They did say that at launch you'll be playing Firefight King of the Hill on normal difficulty with Heroic and Legendary following later. Here's what's coming at launch. Fiesta Fight King of the Hill, Firefight King of the Hill, Groundpocalypse King of the Hill, and Groundpocalypse Fiesta King of the Hill. And they have a huge list of maps that you'll be playing on. I'm not going to read them all, but if you're watching this video instead of listening on the podcast, you can read them all right here. They are doing a ranked update that they're going to be adding 2 new maps. The first one is Fortress, which is described as Fortress is a brand new symmetrical map design that plays CTF and all variants of Slayer, tactical and snipers included. Players can expect fast-paced action with exciting moments provided by dual sniper battles, overshield, and more. It's a beautiful map with a unique aesthetic that will have players taking a moment to enjoy the view. The other one is Inquisitor, which is the remake I'll just read what it says because it's basically saying what I'm about to say. Inquisitor's a remake of one of Halo's most iconic maps, Halo 2's Midship. You'll be transported back in time once you load into what is an amazing recreation. This map is tried and true. Inquisitor also plays at a fast pace in CTF and Slayer, tactical and snipers included. Be ready as soon as you spawn, the action is coming in hot. Now that will be interesting to see how it plays with regular movement and clamber, so I don't know how that's meant to work. That's the first of the 3 that they talked about. The second one is the Sandbox overview, and it starts with a picture here that was recreated from the cover of Ghost of Onyx, which was a book from Halo that first introduced a gun in the image here that you see that we're getting in the game for the first time, and that is the MA5K Avenger. Now, they said that this is going to fill up a space that is missing in terms of SMG, that they want it to kind of feel like a really fast SMG. It said that you could kill 2 full shielded guardians with, excuse me, I've been playing a lot of Destiny, 2 full shielded Spartans with this gun before having to reload it, and that it's an incredibly high rate of fire. I think it was 60 bullets they said in the stream. They wanted it to feel natural. They said that they kind of were looking at all the SMGs, aesthetically and gameplay wise to see what's the best balance, and so they settled on this. I'm very excited to see how the Avenger plays out, especially once you get into ranked, if they're going to add it to maps, if it's going to make its way into HCS, which I don't see why it wouldn't. But anyways, so moving on, we have some Sandbox updates alongside the addition of the MA5K Avenger. So the first one is the Commando, and previously, when using the VK78 Commando at maximum spread, the bullets were trending only to the outer edges of the bloom reticle. To give the Commando a more consistent feel, we've adjusted the bloom properties to allow the bullet to land anywhere within the bounds of the bloomed reticle. This is similar to the adjustment made with the MA40AR in Operation FleetCom update. And so it says, to balance out the now more accurate Commando, the bloom will reach maximum speed slightly quicker than before. For those of you who are like me, who like to know the numbers, so they said that it's going to have increased maximum bullet spread, which the maximum error angle high going from 0.9 to 0.95. Adjusted Commando rifle error angles give it more consistent feel. Minimum error angle high 0.6 to 0.08. And faster bloom expansion. Upper bound deceleration time from 0.2152 to 0.2252. The next weapon they're updating is the Sidekick. And they said basically similar to the Commando above, we've adjusted the bloom properties to prevent bullets from favoring the reticle's outer edge, allowing them to now land anywhere inside the reticle. So what they've done is increase base bullet spread, maximum error angle low 0.03 to 0.35, lower bound deceleration 0.55 to 0.56, upper bound deceleration to 0.42 to 0.43. They're also updating 2 pieces of equipment this season. The first one is active camo, and basically they said what they're going to do is they're going to change it to where if you're using camouflage, if you pick up the flag will no longer become camouflage with you. You'll still be camouflaged, but the flag will be fully visible, which will make it a little bit more tactical in terms of what routes you choose to take. The thruster is the other piece of equipment that's getting a new update. They said that it's currently a piece of equipment that offers high reward but takes little risk when used during combat. So what they're doing is, to address this, thruster will now briefly disable weapon use similar to Halo 5's thruster. This should provide some counterplay potential to those battling against a thruster user while still giving the thruster user an advantage. And that's a lot of the main stuff that's going on that I'm looking forward to. The third article that they did was, if it'll pull up, give it a second, is Forge Overview. Now, I'll just kind of briefly go over this because I'll be supplying these links in the description down below, but I don't know a lot of people that Forge, so I'm just going to kind of gloss over it. So with this, we're getting a third-person camera, and if you actually see here, they showed a picture of Halo CE when it was first coming out, before it even came out, and it was a third person. So they're trying to go back to that style where you can at least utilize that within Forge, because it's always been in the game, even since Halo 1, where you could, maybe not third person, but where it's in the debug mode. They said it's always been there. And like, for example, you're watching your friends, after you die, you're watching your friends walk around. That's third person right there. So it's already been ingrained into the Halo DNA. It's just never been accessible to the players really until now, outside of things like turrets and vehicles. So with this, they're improving the Forger attributions that you can do, with allowing to see in the post-game Carnage report, scoreboard, pause menu, and the match intro camera. You're going to see the name of the map and who made that map if it was a Forger of the community. And they're trying to make it much more accessible and easy for you to say, oh, I like that map, let me hurry and bookmark it so I can play it later with my friends. They're also adding more Commander Arena lines that you can then utilize for your modes. Global Life Pool, they're changing some things with team revives and allowing to have more flexibility in terms of settings, just to give you a lot more things to play with in your own sandboxes, so to speak. Nav marker improvements. They're doing music and forge controls, get generic zone progress node, minigame mode labels. And one of the ones that I was excited about that I heard them say is that they're going to allow you to create 2 objectives. So for example, the first to 3 flags, or the first team to get, say, 100 kills or something like that. So whichever of those 2 things happens first, that's the winning condition. And I really like that because it allows for quicker games and allows you to focus on multiple priorities. I'm very excited for this. It comes out November 5th, which is just 4 days before the Halo 2 20th anniversary. Please let me know down in the comments below what you think. But that's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching TST Gaming. Until next time, just play.
TST Gaming.